The Space Centre's mission is to be a part of the national space exploration effort. So we're interested in exploring and learning more about the solar system, but we choose to do it through the medium of a university, so that an integral element of what we do is to engage students in everything we do. So in many ways the students at the centre are the cutting edge. The Space Centre brings in about 12 or 13 of these students every year, and they work with individual professors. They work with students, with the graduate students, usually their immediate mentors, but they participate in our research. They learn what it's like to be in a research environment, they learn what graduate school is going to be like, and I think, as I say, they do bring a lot of energy and enthusiasm to what we're doing. We do a lot of work related to the surface of Mars. How you get water on Mars is probably one of our major thrusts.
I'm studying gullies on Earth and comparing them to gullies on Mars to see if we can figure out whether the gullies we see on the surface of Mars were created by liquid water.
Any aspect of studying the planet that relates to better understanding it, we're interested in.
Currently I work with the Space Simulation Chamber, looking at mass loss for evaporation of ice under layers of soil. And we can then see how long ice might be able to last on Mars, and also be able to look at water and understand that more for future missions and also possibilities for life.
So we can basically feel our way around what sort of things are happening on the surface of Mars in an experimental way. And then the beauty of doing this kind of research is that you can not only do things other people can't do. I mean, this is a pretty unique facility, but we can then go to our textbooks and go to our theories and go and work up our theoretical understanding of what we're doing, and then we can see how it compares with what we see in the instrument. And when the two mesh, you get almost an intoxicating sense of satisfaction, because now you begin to get that feeling that you really understand. We're also interested in the primitive bodies of the solar system, and by the primitive we mean the oldest bodies, the bodies which survived from the formation of the solar system and that are essentially unaltered since then. So these are the comets and these are the asteroids, the meteorites. So we're interested in their formation, their origin, their history. And so the students are really in this apprenticeship role, and they learn to do science not by reading books and not by attending class, although we make them take classes. They learn research basically by doing it, and doing it with the professor. In my mind, a professor thinks and sort of worries and explores ideas with the students, and the students become part of the blended process, so it's almost impossible to know where one ends and the other begins. But the students are generally the ones who are actually in the lab, gathering the data, in the library, reading the books, who are generally growing by doing, with the professor acting more or less as a conductor, as an orchestrator. It's probably about 13 professors, 6 academic departments, 4 in Fulbright, 2 in engineering. So we have chemistry, physics, biology, geology, chemical engineering and mechanical engineering. So it's an interdisciplinary, it's interdepartmental, it's intercollegiate. It's a big enough university to have all the resources you need to do cutting edge research. And it has all the infrastructure that you need, the computing facilities, the libraries, and all the physical plant that you need to do research. And yet it is not big enough to overwhelm you.